Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my Dark Knights. This is the Bat Brand, and we just got a new ban list dropping, ladies and gentlemen. A brand new ban list that just dropped that will go in effect on January 1st, 2024, which is shocking. I was thinking that we may not see one for this is good for Konami actually bringing one out. I didn't think we'd see one till like February or March because months and they do this, but this is a good list so far. If you see the Forbidden already, we got a Guido, Kelbeck, Circular to zero, and a Soul to zero. So tier is pretty much dead at this point. You get rid of the Millers. That's good. That's great. That's what they should have did a long time ago. Getting rid of a Guido, getting rid of Kelbeck, all those Millers. So now you have to deal with Mudora and Keldo, which you're happy with because you don't really have to worry about them now. So tier is pretty much dead. Mathmech is dead, I believe. And Isolde was just, for all these Warrior Toolbox decks, especially Infernoble, that is also dead. So far, great list, Konami. Limiteds. We have, holy God in heaven, they massacred everything. Oh my God. Okay. Snatch Steel's back! Freaking Snatch Steel's back! Okay, so Shavara's gone. The deck is still playable in Unchained, though. Airlifter's at 1. Okay, Rescue Ace is still playable. Redox is back. I really think it's time to bring back these guys. Orcust Heartpour is back. Finally, Orcust is back. Heartpour, no one was going to see people play this. I really feel like that was a deck that really wasn't going to be. But then the Floodgates. The Floodgates needed to be hit. The Floodgates needed to be, honestly, Skill Drain wasn't a needed hit. But goes in, Rivalry, there can only be one. All three of those hit on a ban list I'm super happy with. Dryas and Healer hit. Well, that sucks. Good thing I thought about selling the deck because, man, the deck's pretty much dead now. Wow, that's terrible. Rika Sun Avalon, rest in peace. Rest in peace. But Snatch Steal is back. Snatch Steal. No one's going to really play Snatch Steal. I really don't feel like that's a card that we're really going to see played in 2023. I mean, you can take, but it's very easily stopped. Semi-limits. Sleepy Memory, Pank, and Terratop. Okay, so Sleepy Memory checks Pearly. And Pank being at 2 now. I mean, that's not bad. What is unlimited? Infernity Archfiend's back to 3. Let's go! Archfiend's back to 3. Oh, Sprite Starter's back to 3. That's freaking great. Unicorn's back to 3, so Castier's gonna probably get a little bump again. Mind Control's back to 3. I don't care about that. Spellbook of Judgment, Upstart Goblin, I don't really think that was going to be a problem. Pot of Desires and Sprite Starter. Infernity Archfiend, just great being back to 3. No one was going to really care for Infernity Archfiend back to 3. I'm so excited. I'm so hyped that Archfiend's back. Because, like, I could actually play Archfiends at a locals now. Infernity Hand Loop at locals now. Which it'd be super fun to play just with Trish and all that. But oh my God, I have a headache. What is the final verdict on this list? One of the better ones, I will say. The limits, they massacred a lot of stuff. The hate to Rika Sun Avalon, I really didn't understand. But that, it needed checked at some point. They didn't hit Rika or Sun Avalon for 3 lists, and it needed hit eventually. But hitting the floodgates was necessary, and checking Unchained, pretty much all the top decks. They checked Unchained, they checked that, and Orcust Heartpour only being at 1. You can still play Orcust, or like an Orcust build, but what Tier may do is Tier may go into incorporating the Orcus in their builds. in tier and instead of the Millers and go more into something like that. But I think tier is very lower rated now. But this is great for decks like they're also checking Runic Stun because Runic Stun is a deck in the OCG that is doing very well. The TCG it is coming up as well. So those are the three floodgates they use. They use Goes and they use Rivalry and they use there can only be one. Really, they're just going to use different floodgates. I know me, I use Messenger Piece. I use Skill Drain. And a couple other ones. But checking how many they can use is very good going forward in that. And Snatch Steal being back, I mean, we'll see with Snatch Steal. We'll see if that does anything. I think Shavara, what they should have limited was Yama. Shavara really wasn't that big of a deal, I feel. But I think Yama could have been limited or limiting the Soul of Rage. But still, at least you check something. Pearly, I think Pearly Sleepy Memory could have went to 1 instead of 2. But Pank being back to 2, I really feel like 9 times out of 10 you're siding it. So you're only using it as a 1 or 2 of anyway. And Terratop, what was Speedroid Terratop going to really do in some build? I knew some builds were, but in the bands were spot on. The bands were spot on. People are sick and tired of seeing Tier Limit, and now Tier Limit is gone. Tier Limit is absolutely pretty much dead. I don't think it's dead, but they're pretty much dead. And Isolde is just bonkers for warrior decks, and now it's checking Infernoble on top of everything else as well. And then just hate for Circular. No one was really playing Math Mech. So you just ban Circular, so now, hey, Cyber strategies, you're dead. So it's just like, oh, cool. I like that you just killed their strategies. Because Circular was the thing that made it go round. But I really like the Unlimits. The Unlimits are some of my favorites because it's like, okay, Pot of Desire's back at 3. Oh, whoop-de-doo. They didn't hit Pot of Desire, or Pot of Prosperity, which was shocking. They did not hit Pot of Prosperity, which I thought they would, but Sprite is probably going to make a small comeback because Starter's at 3, and it was at 2 before. So the Sprite could be back. Sprite variants, I feel like, are going to be upped. So probably the top 3 or 4 decks. Unchained will still be there with 1 Shavara. Absolutely. I still think they'll be there. Pearly will still be there. And Lab, I think, will be there. I think those will be the 3. Now, I still think that Airlifter being at 1 is not a bad thing either for you people who play Rescue Ace. It's not that bad either. Because really, you being at 1, yeah, Airlifter is great and all, but you still have Preventer at 3, you still have Hydrant at 3, you still have all the Diabella Star stuff. You just have more open space now for like a Snake Eye package with like a Snake Eye Ash, adding a Hydrant, just doing different stuff like that. And you can play like 1 or 2 of each of the Oak and the Ash and Birch, or even that and the Flamberge Dragon, and Flamberge Dragon just setting stuff as just an added package with that. You can really just do that. But rest in peace, my pet deck to Sun Avalon. I mean, you can't do the Pasadena combo anymore. You can't do the combo anymore because you need 2 Dryas. So it's lost its consistency big time. So yeah, that sucks. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you all did enjoy this list reaction, let me know in the comments down below. I gave myself a headache from screaming about Snatch Steal. So yeah, I gotta go give myself some ibuprofen. But stay awesome at Dark Knights.